Hello friends, it's me and today let's watch Food Theory! Watch this while you're waiting on your pizza. From the Food Theorist. Together, let's go, let's start. Thank you. Before I continue, I do apologize to you. I'm so sorry. This video is 1 hour and 22 minutes. Aga 1.5 hours long lah. Plus my reaction, 2 hours. Right now is 8:49 AM on the 22nd of January 2026. I hope that I can finish before 11 AM I guess. Hopeful. Let's start.
Pizza is one of the best foods ever, and one of the best human inventions ever, somewhere between fire and penicillin. Over the past year, we've done quite a few videos dedicated to this delicious food, and now we want to share them all with you in one extra cheesy video. Hello Internet, welcome to Food Theory.
Hello Internet, welcome to Food Theory.
First compilation video. That's right, this week we're switching things up a bit and trying something new on the channel. And honestly, something I've been wanting to try for quite some time. A lot of times all you theorists see is the polished, finished product, when really there's so much that went on behind the scenes that we didn't even have time to fit in. So in honor of us doing a bunch of pizza videos this year, I decided to group them all together and share some fun tidbits with all of you as you watch. And if you're new—
And fun fact, this video that I'm watching from the Food Theorist is the last video from the Food Theorist. It came out on the 31st of, is it 31st of December 2025. Yeah.
Here, watching these for the first time, make sure you click that subscribe button, because there's a lot more where this came from. Now let's
Thank you so much. Thank you. Subscribe.
get started with video number 1. I love this episode because it wasn't even my idea. It was Claudia's. Yeah, one day we were driving over to my in-laws' place for a cozy evening hangout, and we were talking about how much pizza we should order. Then she started going down this rabbit hole of how many, and how does every pizza place have the same size large or mediums, and if we're gonna be 8 people, then how many pizzas should we get, because I eat a lot but her parents only eat a little, and oh my god, her ADHD knows no bounds. Point is, she actually stumbled upon some really interesting questions. So here we are. Pizza!
Alright, so case in point, I experienced this recently, like 2 weeks prior. There was invitations. I was invited. I was the guest, not the host. Okay, my friend ordered a lot of pizza, right? But ended up having too much pizza because food overwhelms people. Too much food. And we did our best. To be fair, we did our best. I did eat like 5 portions worth of food, and there's still a lot more. A lot more. I'm like, and then he was like, guys, you guys can dabao. You guys can dabao. And it's like, isn't it inappropriate? It's like, haha, thank you. It's like, no, I'm forcefully giving you dabao. It's like, okay, thank you. Okay, dabao means take leftover. It's a very common thing in Singapore. And also Asia, Southeast Asia.
Pie-za. Melty, cheesy
But anyways, thank you so much for inviting all of us. Thank you.
glory that has been the centerpiece of parties, gatherings, and hootenannies since the dawn of time. Probably. But the one question that always gets asked is how many pizzas should I order? Followed by 2 mediums, 1 large, just a bunch of personals? Well, fret not, because we have found the answer, loyal theorists. Hello Internet, welcome to Food Theory, the show that puts the pizza in pizzazz. You may not know this about
Hello Internet, welcome to Food Theory.
me, but I love pizza. No, I don't think you understood me. I love pizza. New Haven style is my goat, but I will chow down on just about any style of slice. And as a aficionado—
Okay, look, for me, I don't eat pizza on the regular, but I do recognize that it's a very easy, convenient food for parties or for gatherings. You don't have to prepare a lot of stuff. Okay, you don't have to prepare a lot of stuff prior. You just need to purchase and tada, the plates. It is whole and eat. All right, it's not much of a plate. Granted, you can still have a plate, but the cleanup is very. The easy way to go is pizza.
so if you will.
I will not.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
From the game theorist. Sorry.
Where was I? As a aficionado, it is my go-to party food. Birthday party? Pizza. Super Bowl? Pizza. Wednesday night? Pizza. But like I mentioned, for some reason, there's always the dilemma of how many a person should order. I mean, don't get me wrong, if it's just me, it's a large one with a punch bowl full of Coke and a ladle. But when it comes down to Huh? Oh, don't give me that. I can hear you typing. If you've never done it, get a pie and a ladle and thank me, ladle. Some people doubted me here.
Thank me, ladle. Thank me later.
For some reason. Obviously, I don't do it every time, but when I'm feeling extra fancy, I will order a stuffed crust pizza, pour my Coke into a punch bowl, and drink it with a ladle. I got the idea from an episode of Scrubs 20 years ago, and I've never looked back. Back to the point. Everyone always asks how many pizzas, and usually default to large when considering sizes. And you would think that large is a pretty big duh, but no, because you know what we're about here. And if you don't, hit that subscribe button so you get to know what we're about. But on Food Theory, we're about the whole picture, not just a slice. Because here's the thing, large may not be the best bang for your buck. So stick around to the end of the video because next time you have a get-together, you won't have to wonder what size of pizza or how many pizzas to get ever again. But no matter what you do order, just make sure it's not Papa John's. So how do we go about figuring this out? Well, first things first, let's get on the same page as to which places.
Okay, in Singapore, from what I know, is standard Pizza Hut or Domino's. Quite standard.
We're talking about here. We're ruling out all local chains because, let's face it, there's thousands upon thousands in the country and it would take a small army or me forcing Tom to scour the country with a fine-tooth comb.
Or you can purchase both Pizza Hut and Domino's. You can purchase both, two large pizza from Domino's, 2 large pizza from Pizza Hut, and just done. 来，大家一起。People were like, sure, okay.
For months and months, which on second thought sounds hilarious, but ideas for another time. We're essentially sticking with the big three, Pizza Hut, Domino's, and Papa John's, because of how widely available they are to just about everyone, and they have
maybe in Singapore, yes, for Papa John's, but maybe I don't know. I don't travel much, I'm sorry. I don't see much of Papa John's in Singapore. Sorry.
Small, medium, and large sizes. Now that we know the players, the next thing we're going to tackle is the simplest question. How many pizzas? Because that's where everything starts. You settle in with 3 of your buddies for a night of Magic the Gathering, and while you shuffle up cards, you order pizza. But things get complicated because what if there's not just 4 of you? Maybe there's 6 because 2 of you brought your begrudging partners to sit there and stare at a game they could not care less about for 3 hours, but you promised them pizza. What do you do then? To answer this, we need to know how much each person will eat. And this is assuming that everyone is down for cheese or the same topping and someone doesn't want a hyper-specific anchovy and pineapple pizza. Luckily, we're not alone in exploring this topic, and most polls and surveys find that the average amount of slices eaten per person in a sitting ranges between 3 and 5. That range accounts for hunger level and the different dietary needs of different people. So splitting it down the middle, an average of 4 slices per person, lands us in a comfortable position that minimizes both pizza waste and pizza want, meaning how much people are left wanting pizza by the end of it. It gives us a clean.
Something makes a very good point. Aga 3 to 5. Like for example, I've known of like the small girls. They are like back in my secondary school days or in my polytechnic days. That means when I was 16, 17 years old, I remember when I was 16, 17 years old. No, granted, I was the youngest in the group because by default I'm December baby. So everybody else, all the girls, young girls, they're older than me by default. Okay, they always eat like 3 slices and I'm full. And meanwhile the guys will be like, 5! Let's go! So yeah, 3 to 5 is good. It's a good estimate.
In half pizza measurement per person. Now, that half pizza is regardless of size because both medium and large at all of the 3 chains come with 8 slices. But that doesn't answer the question of how many pizzas just yet because we're still dealing with 2 different sizes. How many medium pizzas versus how many large pizzas are 2 very different questions. So which is it? The answer actually comes down to a bit of psychology. See, those 4 slices, the half pizza, is a really nice round number. Makes it easy to know how many pizzas. Just get 1 pizza for every 2 people. But size matters, psychologically speaking and strictly in regards to pizza, but it's all.
Yeah! Definitely.
all thanks to what's known as the unit bias. This is the idea that people tend to break things down into smaller units, whether it's a slice or a scoop and a pinch of food, and see that as the quote-unquote normal amount to eat, regardless of the actual size. On one hand, this means you might eat an entire pizza presented to you that way because your brain says one pizza equal one meal. But in a gathering setting, unit bias actually works in the opposite way. Your brain doesn't see one whole pizza, but rather smaller, more manageable slices. What does this mean for us, the pizza orderers in our dilemma? Well, remember that nice round average of 4 slices?
So there's the gathering unit bias. The more you know. Thank you.
That's just an average. If you get a medium pizza with smaller slices, thanks to unit bias, people will tend to eat more and hit that upper range of 5 slices per person. This puts us in an awkward position because now that one medium pizza can't be evenly distributed. You want unit bias to work for you and get large pizzas because the larger slices will keep people at that 4-slice distribution, which ends up being good for everyone because 4 slices of a large pizza is actually way more pizza than 5 slices of a medium pizza when you factor in the area. So not only do you get an easy calculation for how many large pizzas you should get, but your guests are actually getting more food in the process. If you really want to get all mathematical about it, this is your equation, where X is the amount of people you're having over. Those fancy little brackets just being rounded up. But that's only half of the question answered, because we actually have to pay for these pizzas, so we need to see if large is also worth it from a price perspective. Let's face it, pizza is expensive, and money don't grow on trees. To figure that out, we need to find out how much pizza we're getting per dollar spent. Lucky for us, each of the big 3's medium and large sizes are standardized. Medium clocks in at 12 inches and large is 14. If you remember your math class from, let's say, middle school, you might recall that the area of a circle is pi times radius squared. And calculating the area of both pies gives us a 40 square inch difference between the 2 pizzas, with the medium giving us 113.09 square inches and large coming out to 153.94 square inches.
Thank you. Math!
See, 2 inches is actually a lot. That's what I meant earlier when I said that half of a large pizza is more pizza than 5 slices of medium. You're getting more pizza area. So far in this episode, we've been mostly focused on gatherings, shindigs, and hootenannies. But what if, like Jason Derulo, you're riding solo? I'm not gonna leave you hanging for that answer. It's just a tad more annoying, because the small pizza is where we see Pizza Hut have to be the difficult one and offer a 6-inch personal size where the other 2 have a 10-inch small pizza. So I guess when it comes to size, Domino's and Papa John's do out-pizza the Hut, since their smalls give 78.54 square inches of pie to Pizza Hut's measly 28.27. To be fair though, the Hut's small is just so much cuter. Like I mentioned, small pizza doesn't really enter into the equation of getting pizzas for gatherings. But, fun fact, one small pizza from Domino's or Papa John's is roughly the same area as half of a large pizza. Unfortunately though, no matter which way you slice it, it doesn't make sense to get small pizzas for group.
No matter which way you slice it. I get the point.
What this means for you is if you're getting pizza solo, opt for the small. Back to the other 2 sizes, the area by itself doesn't tell us everything we need to know, because the large sizes also come with a higher price tag, and that may be our breaking point in the decision-making process. But a challenge is nothing to theorists. And yes, I said theorists because I pulled in one of our wonderful writers, Mike, to roll up his sleeves with me and dive into some number crunching.
Fun fact, I actually did pull Mike off a script he was writing for Amy at the time for this calculation. Sorry, Amy from Star Terrorists. Sorry. It took us a few hours of putting our heads together. Sorry, Amy. Oh, and Schmidt's Torn, over 100 locations across the city. My apologies to you, Amy. From the Star Terrorists! Sorry.
Misery.
Also sorry, Mike. Sorry.
Loves company. Not gonna bore you with just how many states and cities, big and small, we started carryout orders for to find out prices, but it rhymes with a Schmidt ton. To find out how much pizza you're actually getting per dollar spent, we took the area of the pizza and divided it by the cost. What we found is that despite prices varying throughout the country, the end results didn't change. So you might be paying more or less depending on where you are, but the relative value is consistent throughout the country. So what did our power rankings end up looking like? Dominating the number 1 and 2 spots is Domino's, and it's not even close. At a whopping 11 inches and 10.29 inches of pizza per dollar for the large and medium respectively, it blew the other two out of the water. Bronze medal goes to Pizza Hut with 9.63 inches of pizza per dollar. And finally, in fourth place, we see Papa John's, and by a mile, at 8.81 inches. In fact, their large pizza barely beat Domino's small pizza and Pizza Hut's medium in terms of value. I should mention that this is strictly from a pizza size and price perspective, though. I'm not here to argue whether one pizza tastes better than the other. I'm just here to help you find out how many and the best bang for your buck. Now, Papa John's does have an XL, which would be in the third place slot, except it throws our slice proportion all out of whack. So you'd have to get an odd amount of pizza that would leave people hungry, or you with too many leftovers for a much higher price point. Okay, this was the most commented on moment of this entire video. Too many leftovers? No such thing. And sure, I get you. Trust me, I'm no stranger to Ziploc bags full of leftover pizza slices clogging up my fridge for days. But the point
That actually occurred to me. Granted, it was consumed within like 12 hours. So at night, say bye-bye to each other. It's like, hey, 11 plus PM already, I need to go somewhere else. And then within the next 12 hours, granted, it was exactly at 11 hours 30 minutes for my lunch. I heat it up, and then I heat it up at like 11 PM, I guess? 11 AM the next day, and I had it for lunch. It was good.
here is that if you're having a party of, let's say, 15 people and have a disproportionate amount of leftovers, some of that is likely going in the trash. And we don't want that, unless you're a monster like me, in which case, comment Pizza Monster down below and unite! Thing is, price...
Comment down below. Thank you so much. Thank you. Touch my heart. Appreciate it. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, follow. You get the point.
Isn't the end-all be-all, right? Papa John's prides itself on its better ingredients, so naturally there would be a higher price for that quality. Now, again, we're not looking at subjective taste here. If you just like Papa John's more, or Domino's dominates your taste buds, that's the ultimate deciding factor. But as far as value, if you're paying for better ingredients, then it would make sense that you would get more of those ingredients on the pizza. And since everybody knows the best part of pizza is the sauce and the cheese and any toppings you may get, you want to have more of that than crust. So we ordered pizza from the 3 chains to see the exact ratio of topping to crust to see if this would shake up the rankings. Unfortunately for John, Papa, things only got worse once we busted out the measuring tape. Domino's continued to widen its lead with an average of 1 inch thick crust and 6 inches of cheese and sauce. Pizza Hut did slightly worse with a 1.5 inch crust, meaning 5.5 inches of cheese and sauce, but Papa John's... When I opened that box, I could immediately tell that something was wrong. And the tape, both the measuring kind and this B-roll, confirms it. J'accuse, Papa John. J'accuse. Your 14-inch pizza...
Fun fact, we only showed one pizza from one location, but we actually did measure multiple from each.
Is actually only 13 inches. Not only that, but the crust ranged from 1.25 to 1.5 inches, meaning the cheese and the sauce part of the slice was a measly 5. To put this...
Okay, so, much respect for actually going the extra mile for this.
lie into perspective, Domino's crust only makes up roughly 27% of the entire pizza, slightly over a quarter. That's a reasonable amount. But Papa John's crust...
This Red Bull plus ice, plus water, plus a lot of ice.
Takes up 40%. So not only are you getting lied to about the size of the pizza, but you're getting nearly half of that pizza as just crust. Meaning, despite paying more for the better ingredients, you're getting less of them than any of the other pizzas. It makes sense for Papa John's because they want to minimize their cost per pizza, and because they pay more for fresher ingredients. If they put as much as Domino's or Pizza Hut, they'd either have to hike their prices up more or take a loss on their pizzas. And obviously, that's not good for business. At the end of the day, what that means for us though is a higher price for less. Unless you're a crust fiend, in which case, power to you, you psychopath. But me, I will stand firm against the lie.
Come on, don't say that. Sorry.
Of John, if that's even his real name, or if he's even a papa, I don't know anymore. So now you'll never again have to
Might be like,
wonder what size or how many pizzas to get, whether it's just you and a ladle or the whole gang. And unless you're looking to munch on mostly higher quality dough, stay away from Papa John's and their sad little pepper they throw in the box. This next video was one of my favorites to film. I hadn't really gotten much airtime with Ash on the channel, so pairing up with them was
Hey, second video to watch.
a blast, even if it did have a few too many expletives for us to include more footage. We filmed this episode and the previous one back to back because Lee did actually start the debate with me about which pizza chain was the best. I honestly was never much of a fan of Papa John's. I was always a Pizza Hut or more recently a Domino's fan, which is why in the previous video I was so critical of their pizza. But what is the best pizza chain? It's a battle for cheesy supremacy and I'm tagging everyone in to find the answer. It won't be easy, but luckily I have the best tasters that spending no money can buy.
Alright, so I'm going to try my best to name every single individual from the top left to bottom right. Santi from the Food Terrace, Ash from the GT Life, okay, one more time. 我记得多一次. Santi from the Food Terrace, Ash from GT Life, Tom from the Game Terrace, Lee from the Film Terrace, Amy from the Style Terrace, Hate Editor Dan.
That's good sauce.
Just roll it.
Sauce.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, the show that is so happy it's not lactose intolerant. Because
Hello Internet, welcome to Food Theory.
pizza's back on the menu, boys! And if you want to see what's next on the menu, make sure to click the subscribe button. Last week,
Thank you so much. Subscribe. Oh, fun fact, I noticed that I'm lactose intolerant. If I'm not wrong, 66% of all humans, adults, are lactose intolerant. Just different level of intolerance level. For me, I can drink a cup of milk, fine. 2 cups of milk, probably fine. 3 cups of milk, I'm going to go to the toilet a lot of times. Like, my body is unable to break down 3 cups of milk in a single meal. Granted, if you are drinking 3 cups of milk in a single meal,
I did a deep
okay, I did once. Okay, I did several times. When I was younger. It didn't happen much to me when I was younger. Sorry.
dive into how many pizzas you should buy for any amount of guests. I sweat over the numbers as I crunched and calculated to determine whether large is truly the best size. I exposed Papa John and its lies. And what did that get me when I showed Lee my results so he could finally accept me as a consummate professional like him? Nope, Papa John's is better. All of that hard work for nothing. But I wasn't about to crumble. So since Lee both broke my heart and decided to make this month Romance Month over at Film Theory, I figured I'd do a second episode and keep the pizza party rolling with Pizza Month! That's right, we're going back to back with the pizza episodes. And today, we're seeing if Papa John's can snatch victory in the redemption story of the century. Robert Downey Jr. cleaning up his act to become the most beloved superhero ever? Pfft, Justin Bieber low-key doing a 180 to a pretty cool guy? Nothing compared to this! In case you're wondering why
Okay, to be fair, if you don't know the backstory about it, Robert Downey Jr. went to prison. I think it was like drugs or something like that, or alcohol, something like that. Okay, so he became successful, and he became successful when he was young, and the fame, the popularity gets over his head, and he caused trouble. Thus, jail time. Like genuinely, there's a court case, there's a footage, everything. After all that, he's like the perfect person to play Tony Stark, the rich, successful individual that is drunk, that is like money, power, women, everything, and atonement. Alright, Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr., just perfect. And Justin Bieber, similar. He became very successful, very rich, very quickly. I think he's around my age, plus minus my age. And then because of this fame, Hollywood stuff and all this, he became a multi-millionaire when he was like super young, like before he was 18 years old, I think. And he get all these tattoos, all these girlfriends, get a pet monkey. Okay, and then now, if I'm not wrong, he have a stable life as a proper father. That's good.
Papa John's is such a dark horse in this little competition. In the last episode, we took a deep dive into the age-old question of how many and what size pizzas you should get for a party. Definitely go give it a look, but to give you the TLDR, large pizzas are generally where it's at, but Domino's gives you the best bang for your buck, and by a lot too. And in the absolute last place, Papa John's. It wasn't particularly close either, but that was from an objective standpoint. As we all know though, pizza isn't just about the price or the slice size. It's about whether it's nice, guys. Hashtag bars. Okay, this was really dumb.
Hashtag bars. How long do you think it took Sanji to write all this? I'm gonna guess it took him like at least 10 minutes.
I admit, but I wanted to include a little personality moment here because I'm a huge rap fan. I've talked about it on GT Live before, but I wanted to infuse a dumb rap joke for the lulz. So today we're putting our pizza where our mouths are and determining once and for all which pizza chain is the supreme and which just isn't worth the dough. Now, unlike the holidays, it was pretty easy to get people to respond to my email this time.
Wait a minute. What is the message?
Chain is the supreme and which just isn't worth the dough. Now, unlike the holidays,
Pizza party! All of pizza, please.
it was pretty
I'm
easy
down.
to get people to respond
I just got into town. Should I tell
to
Tom?
my email this
Notice the absence of Tom from the game, Terrace.
time around. Go figure. So today's lineup is me, Ash, Dan, Amy, and Lee. But because Lee didn't want to be alone on the couch, he brought... Fine. Whatever. Lee's a professional. It'll be okay. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, because it feels like they're compensating for something.
Yeah, you know so little something about that, right, Santi?
I'm mad about it, and just when I thought Lee and I were friends. So how is this gonna go down? We have a lineup of 4 of the most popular chains in the US. Domino's, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, and Papa John's. As a little monkey wrench to test just how refined our palates are, we've also thrown in a DiGiorno pizza. This is to see
I'm so sorry. In Singapore, what I see commonly is Domino Pizza and Pizza Hut. Little Caesars Pizza, I'm so sorry. Not what I see on a day-to-day basis. Papa John's as well. DiGiorno, I'm so sorry. These 3, sorry. Mostly it's Pizza Hut and Domino's in Singapore. From what I see, maybe I don't go out as much. Maybe that's my fault. I'm so sorry.
if any of us might be fooled, in which case instant disqualification, but also for a secret little something come down the pipeline later.
Fun fact, I may have forgotten about this secret little something coming down the pipeline, but going back and rewatching this definitely, I'll definitely have to put it on the dongle for 2026 this year.
It's gonna be super fun. Seriously. It Clay, the upscribed say, Utton Bay. The blind taste test
Thank you so much. Subscribe.
will judge the pizza on 3 components: the cheese, the sauce, and the dough/crust. For each category, each person will give it a score from 1 to 5, and at the end of each round, we'll add up all the scores to see which place ends up with the highest cumulative score. Oh, and before we dive in, I just want to extend the fun to you. We won't actually show which pizza is which until the very end, so if you have time and a bunch of friends, order up some pizzas and play along if you want. If you do, make sure to drop your scores in the comments below, or just let me know which place is your favorite overall. Now, let's get to it. Alright, to kick things off, we have a pinch of regret for the blind part of this test.
Keep going, Dan. You got it.
Yeah, okay, got it.
This is the problem.
Okay, sorry, yes.
Is this one piece?
I think it's your 2 pieces.
Oh, like wishbone it. Are you grabbing the other piece?
Yes, I'm holding a piece in the air.
okay.
It is elevated.
But we got the hang of things pretty quickly.
I love lukewarm pizza.
This is like the mediocrest slice of pizza I've ever had in my life.
Tom and Lee were not amused, but Ash and I dove in just a bit more in our analysis.
The sauce is a little understated. I'm getting a lot of cheese in this bite. It's wide, but it's flat. The kind of rising sensation isn't really happening. However, we have a very nice, crispy, garlicky crust that's happening up here, which I do very much enjoy. I think that the crust here is really the star of the show. I would honestly just be happy eating the crust. I love me some good bread.
Amy and Dan, on the other hand,
This is just a bubble.
Did you get just a bubble?
I got just a crunchy bubble.
these people, they really like to test my patience, taking a breath and powering through to the rankings, but not before a cheap shot on
One got flat, the other one got bubble.
my part. Do you have the plate?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was
Guilty.
trying not to leave any crumbs, and so I was eating very meticulously over it.
Oh, I'm leaving crumbs everywhere. I mean, in my defense, this is the only way I can get on the GT live set nowadays. You can ban me from the chat, Ash, but I will have my revenge!
I would give cheese like a 2 out of 5. Yeah.
The awkward moment in which you have to ban each other. You guys are co-workers. Guys, come on.
Yeah, I think 2's fair.
I give the sauce a. Can we go to 0?
I would go for 1.
Okay, yeah, I'd give it a 1 as
Yeah.
well. And I would say the crust, I actually thought was pretty good. I'd say the crust is a solid, like 3, bordering on like 4. So
Yeah,
3.
I think again I was gonna say 3. I think 3 is fair because it's not gone bad. It's not tough or difficult, and it's got some kind of flavor to it, but it's nothing special.
Not a strong showing for pizza number 1. Let's see what the bubble folks have to say.
Crust,
Bubble
2.
folks.
Sauce, 3. Cheese, 3. It is so
Crust 2, sauce 3, cheese 3. Like right down, it's just so middle. Yeah, very good. We're yay!
Okay, not to ruin the whole immersion of this video, but in writing the script, I had to listen to this moment of these two screaming yay so much that I'm pretty sure I ruptured an eardrum.
You still look at the audio. The I'm sorry.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan.
So I would say the cheese.
Okay, wait. What?
cheese 3. Like right.
Ruptured an eardrum. Thanks, Amy.
Editor Andrew. Oh, I'm sorry, Editor Andrew. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Dan.
So I would say the cheese, I'd give it a 3. Middle of the road, nothing crazy, nothing too much. It's just a solid cheese. Sauce, I give it a 2. She's quiet, she's moving in silence, a little bit sweet, but I could use more. I'm very saucy as a human being. Crust, I'm giving a 4. We love the garlicky flavor that's coming in there. The butter, it's also nice and crispy. There's a great combination of ingredients there. I'm just saying it as a 4 because I'm not absolutely blown away yet, and I'm prepared to get blown away.
Wow, Ash really missed their calling as a food critic. I was on the same page for the most part, ish. I'll agree with you on the cheese and the dough. As a 3 and a 4, I think the dough is really well seasoned and there's not too much of it. It wasn't like too cakey to get through that
Right,
pizza.
exactly.
But the sauce, I cannot forgive a 2. This is a 4 sauce. It is so good.
Disagree.
She coats your tongue so deliciously. and
She's barely there.
she is not she is there for you. She is supportive.
Then I can't feel her.
Oh, well, you're just high maintenance. All right. That is
Oh!
sauce. Let's move on. A little disagreement, but
I dare you to look into the eyes of a woman and tell her, well, you are just high maintenance. Okay, to be fair, they are blindfolded, so it's lessen the pressure down a tiny bit. Look, sometimes you can't say facts. You really can't say facts. In this current day and age that we live in right now, facts and feelings, a lot of times, sadly, feelings win over facts. In a room where everybody says 1 + 1 = 5, you saying 1 + 1 = 2, you are wrong. Sorry.
that's fine because I'm the host and I have final say, and I say she was so there.
No, she wasn't.
What? You can't just appear in my VO.
I can when you're saying something so egregiously false.
Okay, fine. Agree to disagree.
Wait, Ash gets to defend their taking the VO? What I meant by bubbly was that.
Nope.
Oh, hey, did we get lines?
Absolutely not. We are not doing this. Shoot, get. Whew. This might actually be one of my favorite bits I've done in my time as host. Usually when I have other hosts on, it's just in the live action portion of the videos, and then I do my VO afterwards where I can make my jabs and jokes and all that, but they don't get to have any VO lines. So I wanted to break the mold a bit with this, and I loved every single one of their deliveries. Dan especially was a super good sport with his, hey, do we get lines? And I laughed for so long watching the rough edit. So to finish off the first round, that leaves
Hey, do we get likes?
Pizza 1 with a total score of 16 for the crust, 14 for the sauce, and 18 for cheese for a grand total of 48. Not too shabby, but we still got lots of pizzas to go. Pizza number 2 was rough out the gate.
What is this? It doesn't feel like a slice.
This is not gonna end well.
Have you seen the movie Flubber?
Yes!
This feels like what Flubber would feel like.
This is flubber pizza. The undercarriage here is smooth like a baby's bottom. I don't know how I feel about that.
This feels like pizza that's been out on a plate at a buffet for like 4 hours.
Ooh, it's flexible. This one feels less well done than the last one. The last one was just crispy.
That's good sauce.
Oh,
Oh,
oh wow, no.
yes.
What?
That is a sauce that speaks. That sauce is talking to me. That's what I wanted.
You're off the couch.
Girl, it's my couch.
While Ash and I disagreed hard, Tom and Lee were
To be fair, the scene, the set, the couch belongs to GT Life. GT Life uses it much more than food theorists. Thus, Ash can say that, girl, it's my couch. It is her couch. Sorry, Santi, sorry.
on the same page.
So
Cheese
cheese,
one.
it's like you got one. There's barely any on here.
There probably is, but it just doesn't taste of anything. That's the problem.
Amy and Dan agreed on high scores, just not in the same categories.
I'll give the cheese a 4 and the sauce a 3.
Really? No, flip it.
No.
Cheese 3, sauce 4.
No.
Incorrect.
I'm gonna disagree with you on the cheese. The cheese is actually coming through. I actually quite like it. I'm gonna give the cheese.
Oh, I gulped. Sorry.
Yeah. Are you okay? Some say you can still hear the gulp in the halls of the GT Live set to this day. For pizza number
Who is the some? Some said. Who is some?
2, we finished with a total of 12 for crust, 18 for sauce, and 14 for cheese for a total of 44 points, putting this 4 points behind pizza number 1. Pizza 3 was a shocker for some of us, and for Dan, it left him speechless. Your guess is as good as mine. Either Dan hated it, or he loved it so much it literally forced him into a state of meditation. The rest of us were much more vocal.
To be fair, either it's breathtaking or bro is just speechless. Or could be both.
Difference on this one.
That
The
sauce is great.
Yeah, the sauce is fantastic.
It's really basil forward. Sorry,
Yeah.
basil. Sorry, I can see Santi judging me for calling it basil. I can feel it.
Nah, he knows me so well.
I'm gonna like this. I know him. That's familiar. I know her.
I thought I did. She's like the high school sweetheart that then you run into 10 years later, and you're like, what happened to you? If Ash and my ramblings have you a little lost, we loved this pizza. I think this has been my favorite so far.
I agree. This is the best one, and it's not close.
The other 4 uncultured barbarians disagreed. Granted, Tom and Lee both loved the sauce like we did, but the other parts, not so much.
The cheese,
Like a 2. It's better than the other one.
it's still not strong. It's at least there, so 2 I think is fair. Dough,
I'd give it a 2. It's better than that the one that we didn't like.
yeah, I'd say 2.
it's
I think
nothing
I
special.
think that's fair.
Sauce is a 2. It's too sweet. And the cheese is a 2. I don't like it.
I don't like the cheese either.
Seriously, I don't know what they're talking about. Guess Ash and I are just better. Joe, 5.
To be fair, his vocal is quite good. It's like Sorry.
Sauce, 5. Nona crushed it. Nona? Yeah, the one that...
Oh, fun fact. So I recently just got back from a family trip, and then Stina Eco at Malaysia Johor. There was a swimming pool there, so me and my brother and my father, we played around holding our breath. The first time I hold my breath, it was 1 hour and 20 plus seconds, 25, 28 seconds. Second time, 1 hour and 20 something seconds. 1 hour 30, 1 hour. I hold my breath for 1 minute and 20 something seconds. Second time, 1 hour and 20 seconds. Third time, 1 hour and 50 plus seconds. The fourth time I tried is 2 minutes. Oh, why did I say hours? Okay, one more time. The first time I tried was I held my breath 1 minute 20 plus seconds. I think it's 28 seconds. Second time is 1 minute. First time 1 minute 28 seconds around that. Second time 1 minute and 20 seconds. Second time they were speaking a lot and just making fun. I couldn't hold my breath. Yeah. Third time is 1 minute and 50 plus seconds. I'm so close. Let me go 2 minutes. Fourth time 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Is it 14, 50? Yeah, around there. So not bad. Oh no, 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Going to be 14 seconds, 2 minutes and 13 seconds plus. Okay.
They have trapped in the basement. They have like a giant shackle on her and she's not allowed to leave.
Poor Nona.
Poor Nona. Poor Nona. But her sauce was just so delicious. Despite some disagreement, even for the naysayers, the sauce was the highlight of this pizza and ended up giving it the highest score in that category by far up until this point with 22 points. The dough also had a strong showing with 19 and made up for the cheese's 15 points for a gut-busting total of 56 points, putting it comfortably in the lead coming into the final two pizzas. The penultimate pizza was far from the ultimate, and it got some immediate reactions.
I know what this is. I know exactly what this is.
All right.
Ah, I know this one.
This is the DiGiorno's.
The cheese comes off in a solid piece.
This is the worst one by far so far.
I know what this is.
I know what this is. Oh my god, by a mile.
Right?
Homie, don't play that.
I'm good.
It was pretty obvious from minute one. Ash and I were totally in sync here.
Can we say it?
On the count of three.
One,
2, 3, go.
DiGiorno. Go! You said the count of 3!
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, go, DiGiorno.
You didn't say the count of 3, go!
It's implicit in the count of 3.
No, girl, where?
Okay, kind of in sync. 3/5 in sync. Lance, Chris, and Joey. No JC or Justin. Regardless, none of us.
Sorry. Fun fact, if you actually recognize the instinct reference, comment down below. Thank you.
We're fooled here. Good to know for no reason whatsoever. Scribble, 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 scribble. But yeah, spoilers. This was the DiGiorno pizza.
Bye.
It was painfully obvious, almost as painful as its score, ending the round with the lowest score in each category for a measly 30.5 points. Final round! And after the DiGiorno's, it was only uphill from here. Whoa.
Yeah,
I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this.
she's fruity.
She is! Ash and I were astounded by the level of sweetness in the sauce, but we couldn't quite put our finger on where it could be from. The others, though?
It's just Papa John's.
Papa John's.
This is Papa John's.
Papa John's 100%.
Yeah, I couldn't make it out. Did they say Papa John's? Did they seem sure about that? Well, Lee did, and he knew exactly why.
The reasons I can tell, the sauce is a little bit sweeter. Feel of the bread is also very specific to Papa John's.
I would say the cheese is really good.
Yes,
actually.
I agree.
It's got that right level of melty cheese while also feeling like it's got some like texture to it, like that browning that I was talking about. So that's really nice. But it doesn't feel like it's going to come off in a slab.
The best chain. The best one.
Okay, settle down there, Lee. Amy and Dan might have something to say about that.
Papa John's is a bad father. That's how I feel.
And you are entitled to your feelings, Amy. Unfortunately for you, no one else agreed. Across the board, this pizza had something we all loved, and that Lee really loved. The sauce was the most divisive, with Amy and Dan giving it one of their lowest scores of the day. And while it was a bit too sweet for me, it was still, in the immortal words of Dan,
Good sauce.
Papa John's, pizza number 5, ended up getting high scores across the board, with 20 for crust, 20 for sauce, and 19 for cheese, ending up with a grand total of 59. But now it's time to see if our predictions were right, if Pizza 5 truly is Papa John's, and see if their pizza can finally redeem their name.
1, 2, 3, go.
Domino's.
Yeah.
You are both correct.
Let's go. Yeah.
Tom is correct. Amy, you are incorrect.
Oh, damn.
Wait, does that mean I'm right?
You're right. Santi, you are incorrect.
What?
Ash is correct. Yes! You are both correct. You guys
Which
lost
means that
tonight.
Dan is right and I'm wrong. And you know what? That's okay. I still gotta eat a heck ton of pizza.
How you are, you just have to say that you're fine. You're not
Ash is correct again.
What? Little Caesars has the best sauce? That is nuts.
DiGiorno.
You are both correct.
Yeah.
Not even close.
It was not delivery.
Papa John's. It was clearly Papa John's.
You guys both correct. Ash, 5 for 5.
What?
And that is how you do it.
I am astounded right now. Excuse me while I pick my jaw up off the floor long enough to say congratulations to Papa John's.
Alright, let's be honest, I will probably lose. I do not eat enough pizza from these restaurants to have a specific taste bud for this, or have a specific feel for this. I'm sorry. The last time I ate pizza was 2 weeks ago, and the last time I ate pizza was How many months ago was that? Half a month? Half a year, sorry, half a year. So, sorry. Is it more than half a year? Shouldn't be more than half a year, right?
True Cinderella story, finally redeeming itself. While their prices are high and they're full of lies, their pizza's flavor speaks nothing but truth. It came away with the win with 59 total points and the best overall score in each category. But the number 2 spot and the true dark horse of this competition goes to Little Caesars, which earned the highest number of any individual category with its sauce, totaling a whopping 22 points for Nona's delicious creation. At number 3 is the winner from last week's episode, Domino's, and rounding off 4th and 5th place are Pizza Hut and DiGiorno's, which got the lowest score by far with 30.5. What this means for you is that if you're willing to spend a little extra and potentially get less pizza, Papa John's Pizza is sure to please. But if you're looking for a less sweet, more robust and complex sauce, look no further than Little C's. And definitely steer clear of DiGiorno's. As for our predictions, Ash, Tom, and Dan all made out with clean sweeps. Lee got 4 correct. Amy got 2 correct. And me, well, I got 2 correct. And an entire worldview shattered. I don't know who I am anymore, but I definitely know who Little Caesars is now. Because while Papa
I got that. Continue. Sorry.
John's may have won the crown, Little Caesars and Nona won my heart. This episode holds a special place in my heart as one of the genuinely most fun episodes to film, and it was one where Claudia really took the reins behind the camera. Being in Miami, I don't really have many people to help me behind the scenes, so very often I have to rely on her in her free time to be awesome. When we filmed this, it was us and our 2 other friends for an entire Sunday just making pizza after pizza. Oh, and Billy, you'll never guess what his real name is. Little Caesars just released a brand new pizza to celebrate the upcoming
Well, either ways, thank you, Billy. Thank you.
Fantastic Four movie. It's actually really cool. It's a 4-quadrant pizza, each one with its own toppings to represent the titular characters. I was so excited to try this thing out until I took a closer look and I realized they got it all wrong. So I'm gonna fix it. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, where no chain can have fun because I am too much of a nerd. This
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory.
Is Little Caesars' newest creation, celebrating the Fantastic Four in all of their the 3rd time's the charm glory. It's actually super cool. It's a 4...
Okay, to be fair, the latest Fantastic Four movie was brilliant. Truly brilliant. It highlights a lot of positive family moments. Family-friendly moments, yes. Positive family-friendly moments.
Quadrant pizza, each one with its individual toppings that represent each of the individual characters. But when you take a closer look at it, through the eyes of someone that spent more time reading comic books than making friends as a child, you'll realize they don't represent the characters at all. So I am planning on righting this wrong, but I can't really do it myself. See, my pizza making knowledge tops out at getting one of those tubes and pressing the spoon to it and getting scared when it pops open every single time. So
it is like better than me. I have 0 experience in making pizza. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Called up a friend of mine who is a pizza making expert here in Miami and decided to intrude on his Sundays so that he could show me the ropes in order to correct Little Caesars pizza. But
Thank you so much for helping, Santi. Thank you.
Before I can do any of that, I need to do 2 things. 1, get my hands on the actual pizza itself. And 2, I gotta walk before I can run. So today, I'm gonna be making 3 pizzas. The first pizza is gonna be the simplest. It's gonna represent one superhero. The superhero, Superman. Then, we're gonna move on to another ensemble most people are familiar with these days, the Avengers. But with this pizza, we're not concerned about the 4 quadrants. We're gonna have all the toppings spread throughout the pizza before we move on to my new and improved Fantastic Four 4-quadrant pizza. We're gonna pick up Little Caesars on our way to the pizza expert so that we can get started on this delicious adventure. Mwah! Okay, so we have the infamous Fantastic Four pizza in front of me, and it's honestly beautiful. Like, they have it perfectly in like 4 different quadrants. I'm like actually really pissed at like the lack of effort they put into everyone that wasn't the Thing and Johnny. Because like, what are these 2 supposed to be? I don't understand, but we're gonna do a taste test and see if they at least invoke the characters. So let's start start with Ben Grimm, aka The Thing, aka the Orange Rock Man. The bacon feels a little extra. I understand the sausage, and I like the sausage. That's something that I might.
Which, fun fact, in the latest trailer, he was like, hey, he was introduced, like salutations, greetings from M'Baku, King of Wakanda. Like, hello. Hello, the king, hello.
I think this one's probably the best executed one. Then let's go to the Human Torch. You have jalapenos and pepperoni, which jalapenos, we get it. It's very obvious. Not the hottest you could go. It's not even that spicy. I'm gonna say the one that with no toppings is Invisible Woman, aka Sue Storm. It's just Little Caesar pizza, which slaps. You need something else. You can't just say cheese pizza and there's no toppings, it's invisible. Lack of effort, C-. Nothing about this half of the pizza screams Fantastic Four, but it can't just be me. I'm gonna bring Claudia in and tell me what she thinks about the flavor profile, because like she doesn't know anything about comics, all right? So this is only one thing she can do, which is eat. You may notice we're in a very rustic looking place. This is not our apartment. We are in the home of our pizza expert for today.
I really like that one. The sauce.
So, thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting a place be filmed at. Thank you.
Sausage is a good touch. When the crust is so thick, you need more than just cheese.
Sausage really does end up looking like rock, so that might be something that we have to steal. Does this invoke smartest man alive to you?
0%.
Does this invoke someone who can stretch their limbs at will?
0%.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm gonna...
Exactly. Case and point. Case and point. Wanda Maximoff. If you know, you know.
Finish eating this because I haven't had lunch. Then we're gonna move on and get the adventure started.
I mean, the Scarlet Witch.
You don't want to see this. You can cut. So, without further ado, I'm gonna bring on my expert, who has asked to remain completely anonymous, so we will not be using his real name. Instead, I'm gonna be making up a fake name like Billy. Billy, come on.
Hi, Billy. Hello, Billy. Hello from Singapore. I'm Humdrum Singaporean. I'm just another Singaporean. Hello, Billy.
To my show. Hi, everybody. Welcome, Billy.
Pizza Chef Billy, real name is actually Billy.
Eat to food theory. What makes pizza dough so hard for so many people, in your experience?
The pizza dough is what makes the entire pizza. So there's not like a lot of hard rules when you make pizza. There's a lot of things that you can vary, like sauces, toppings, whatever. But dough is what makes or breaks your pizza. Pizza dough is like a living...
Exactly. It is the pillar of the pizza. It is the foundation of pizza. It is the anchor point of the pizza.
organism. It's got yeast in it.
Suck it, vegans. I eat pizza because it's not alive.
That's the time-consuming part. The yeast needs to eat the sugars in the dough and then convert that into alcohol and CO2. CO2 is what makes your dough like bubble up.
Alcohol? We get alcohol in pizza?
Not enough to drink.
A boy can hope. Thank you. If you want, you can start getting the oven ready, and I'll see you in a second. I gotta tell them about the first pizza we're gonna make.
For case in point, professional restaurants, they preheat their ovens before the first pizza inside. You know, they don't put the pizza inside, then start heating the oven. You know, yeah.
Pizza number 1, Superman. How in the world do you make a pizza that honors and represents the character that everyone knows and loves? The first of the many, many superheroes. Well, there's a couple of ways to go about it. He's from Krypton, he's super strong, he's got the classic blue and red, yellow colors in his costume. But here's the thing, Superman is by all intents and purposes a god, but what makes him so special is actually his humanity. So when making a pizza for him, I want to honor that. I want to convey Superman's humanity. And what better way to do that than by looking at his farm boy origin. The first and main ingredient of this pizza is going to be corn, something that he would have been very familiar with and surrounded by in his upbringing, and represents the farmland of Smallville, Kansas. What we're gonna do is roast the corn like he would do with his heat vision and give it a little bit more oomph in the flavor. Now, that corn is going to be fairly sweet, so we need to balance it out with something nice and salty, and there's no better thing to do that with than with ham. Kansas loves its pork, and Superman would have no doubt been having that nice, delicious meat growing up on the farm. But we're not done yet. We still have to pay some sort of homage to his alien superhero alter identity, Superman. And the best way to do that is actually with kind of a twofer ingredient, sunflower seeds. Superman gets his powers from the yellow sun. That's what makes him Superman in our world. But Clark Kent, also growing up on the farm in Smallville, would have been
To be specific, a yellow sun, not a red sun, yellow sun.
Surrounded by sunflowers. So what we're gonna do is roast some sunflower seeds and sprinkle them onto the top of the pizza to add a little bit of texture and a little bit of an earthy flavor to it. But we're not done yet. Because you can't talk about Superman and the things that make him him without talking about his famous weakness. Kryptonite. How do we convey this glowing green rock that makes Superman weak in the knees? And the answer, once you get to thinking about it, is pretty obvious. Cilantro. And that's because there's a good portion of the population for which cilantro is a weakness. See, there are some people with a special and very specific olfactory receptor gene, the OR6A2. People that have a variant of this specific gene literally taste soap whenever they eat cilantro. You watching may taste soap when you eat cilantro, and
That's different for me. I taste when I eat that. I don't know the name for it. I don't know the name of the plant, but seeing that image made me think of, okay, so I eat that plant before. I don't know the name of the plant, but I eat the plant before, and for me, it tastes like paper. It doesn't taste like soap. It tastes like paper. You know, as when I was younger, I eat this. I don't want to eat this. It tastes like paper. Don't tell me how I know how paper tastes like. Yeah. So cilantro. I might forget the name in the future. Tastes like paper for me. But as I grow older, as I mature, it's food, man. I'm starving already. I've experienced starvation before. I've experienced the hardship before. It's food. It tastes like paper. It's still food.
because you have a variant of this OR6A2 gene that makes you have a specifically heightened sensitivity to aldehyde. So adding cilantro would be perfect because a lot of people would be able to eat this pizza, taste the cilantro and think, herbaceous. But Clark Kent would bite into it and taste soap. It would ruin the entire experience.
It tastes like paper for me. Sorry. Not soap. Paper.
So let's get cracking on the pizza. I want to point out once again the saint-like patience of Billy allowing me to...
So it tastes like 纸. You know, paper, the thing that you write on. 像笔和纸, pen and paper. Yeah, paper.
To disturb his one day off with a bunch of completely off-the-wall and inappropriate jokes about his hard work. They're beautiful.
I want to punch it.
Reminds me of my beautiful, I won't say it.
Now you have to say it.
Reminds me of my wife. He hates me.
We got what was our dough ball. We're gonna lubricate the dough ball.
It's so awkward. It's so awkward for him. Bro, it's like, if you guys, like that's the thing, he was sandwiched in between these two individuals. I was like, bruh, I feel like a light bulb here. I feel like a third wheel here.
That doesn't seem like liquid.
It's not. It's dry lubricant. It is cornmeal.
So, what is the point of cornmeal?
The point of the cornmeal, it helps to make sure that your fingers don't stick to the dough. This dough is very sticky, as you probably saw when you were touching it.
It's like an,
The way that I do it, actually, so this is a way to stretch the dough. I put it onto the back of my hands and just kind of roll it around. And gravity is pulling the dough down from the bottom.
I see.
So in order to keep it even, I'm rotating it around and around, and you can see that it's like starting to stretch out.
So now we're gonna move it onto
the peel.
The peel.
I floured up the peel so that when we launch it into the pizza oven, it doesn't stick to the peel.
It just slides off. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but this was flour. Okay.
That's flour.
So why not cornmeal for this then?
Cornmeal doesn't stick to the peel as well. Flour leaves like a residue on the peel.
So can we start with the ingredients here?
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll sauce it up.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Acting. Boom! Weirdly optimistic about this. Oh, that's delicious. So here we have the sunflower seeds, which are shelled already. I want an even distribution of this ham. I think we're ready.
Yeah, just open the door there.
All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, look at that. We got the final product right in front of us. So as a recap, charred corn on top as a homage to his Kansas farm upbringing. We have ham because it's a nice hearty, I feel like down to earth, protein and meal that he would have. Then we have the sunflower seeds scattered all along that have gotten a nice little bit of toasting. And finally, his kryptonite, the cilantro. I luckily don't have the gene that makes it taste like soap. I'm sure if Superman himself were to come here and try it, he'd be like, oh, gross, but only because of the cilantro, the rest of the pizza is super good. I wish the cilantro wasn't on this so I could enjoy it fully. So,
to be fair, it tastes like paper for me, but I will still eat it. after being through starvation, after being through hardship, after being through, you know, mature, I recognize that it's food is food. You know, it tastes like paper, so what? It's still food.
One bite, everybody knows the rules. Sunflowers have a very strong taste that I just...
Beggars come to choosers. I'm not rich, I'm just another average Singaporean.
not see coming. What comes through immediately is the corn, which is really, really good and very, very sweet. Even Finn wants some, I know. The cilantro adds a little bit. Honestly, this feels like a weirdly Kansas pizza. It can't just be me. Claudia's gotta come.
Oh no,
and
more pizza. The dough is really good. Well,
that was karma for not first complimenting my topping game
that
here.
was one of the hams. Like, I almost just died. I like the corn a lot. This is so good. I would like more ham.
Does this invoke Superman for you?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to lie. It's fine. How would you rate it on a scale of 1 to Fantastic Four?
3.2.
I'll take a 3.2. We need to get Billy back on here. After all, he did make the pizza.
Rated out of Fantastic Four. Clever.
That corn was a great idea.
I'm telling you, corn might be the next topping for
The
pizzas.
dough is good. Not glazing here, but there's been times that I've messed up the dough. Cilantro was a great choice. The ham is fine.
In your opinion, from Dr. Doom to Fantastic Four, how would you rate this?
2.5. I think we can shoot higher.
I think that's solid. Now, I feel like I should remind everyone.
From 0 to 10, 0 to 5. No. From Dr. Doom to Fantastic Four. I see how you did that. Clever.
That much like Whose Line Is It Anyway, these points don't really matter. At the end of the day, it's pretty subjective. Our goal isn't making the tastiest pizza, but the most lore-accurate pizza. How good it is more like the cherry on top. With that said, Superman showed us a lot about unexpected flavors, and now it's time for pizza number 2.
And yeah, we are at around the halfway point mark of this video. I not sure if you know this, I've prepared some food. So I show you the it's not ice already. The Red Bull plus ice. Now it's just pure ice. I'm gonna drink it. Next, I got some food over here. This Milo. I'm Singaporean, so hot Milo. Okay, it's not hot. It's warm Milo right now. Warm Milo plus biscuits. So yeah, let's continue.
The friggin' Avengers. How? We have 6 characters in the OG MCU Avengers. Yes, we are doing the OG MCU Avengers, because if we did the comic Avengers, I would have to put both ants and wasps on my pizza. I'm not gonna do that. So we have 6 characters. The Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. The Hulk is pretty...
Okay, to be fair, ants and wasps are edible if you prepare them well. Okay, but granted, your wife is gonna be like, are you serious? Are you serious? Your wife will be like,
self-explanatory. He's big, he's green, he's a big punch of flavor. We're gonna do a nice basil pesto drizzle with that strong green flavor. When it comes to Iron Man, everybody knows that Tony Stark is feisty, sassy, and clad in that red and gold armor. What we're gonna do to represent him is a sriracha drizzle to counteract that herbaceousness of the basil and the pesto and show a little bit of Tony Stark's fiery attitude. Captain America. Red, white, and blue. Say less. We got the white from the mozzarella, red from the red onions, and blue cheese crumbles to round off the star-spangled man at a time. Thor is where it gets a little more complicated. We're gonna add lingonberry underneath the cheese to balance the acidity of the sauce and to pay homage to his Scandinavian origins. Now, we have Black Widow, and I think that one is fairly obvious. Black Widow, black olives. Hawkeye is the bane of my existence, because what do you do for a man that shoots arrows? And here's the thing. You have triangle shapes of the arrowheads that we want to convey in this pizza. But what this pizza is really lacking is a little bit of texture. What we're gonna do is get Doritos Minis and add one on every slice so that you get a nice little arrowhead and a crunch of texture with that very first bite. God, I'm loving how this pizza's turning out. Let's get to it. So these two that we're dealing with now are slightly bigger than the first one because these are the team up pizzas. Got a dry lube, always remember. So before you finger the pizza, apply dry grainy lube. Important important
Bruh.
life lessons.
Bruh.
Okay,
Bruh.
okay, look. I was among friends filming this, okay? I was feeling less food theory host Santi and more Santi. So yeah, jokes were a bit dirtier this episode. Legit didn't think I would keep this one in, but I like to push the boundaries sometimes, and this exact moment made me laugh so hard, I decided to keep it. Yeah,
Bruh. Bruh.
manipulate.
For it. Just go in a circular motion.
Ooh.
You're wanting to push the dough out just a little bit.
I really shouldn't be doing this because I'm probably gonna mess it up. This was fun. That was a fun experience for me. I've learned a lot. All right, so this is where it's gonna be tricky, and it's gonna be a matter of like proportion, especially the lingonberry. It sure smells. I don't know why I thought this was gonna be a good idea. All right, so now we are gonna put a little less sauce. Oh, this doesn't look good. So this, remember, is the white part of the red, white, and blue for Captain America. So we're gonna put smoked Gouda for Thor's smokiness. Also, because Chris Hemsworth is hot. We got the blue cheese crumbles for Captain America's red, white, and blue. This is gonna be the hardest thing because blue cheese is very strong. Black Widow, black olives. That was an ugly one. I'm just gonna, can't have any ugly olives. This is ScarJo we're talking about. Oh man, our team up pizza right now is looking fine. Despite not wanting to ruin the dough, I felt like I was doing plenty. Adding the toppings, opening doors, you know, essential stuff. 3, 2, 1, yeah! The trick here is gonna be making sure that the lingonberry doesn't weirdly cook or do anything weird, but I think we have enough strong balancing flavors here that this should come together really well. And we're gonna top it all off really yummily with pesto, sriracha, and one other thing that I forgot.
The arrowheads.
Thank you. Listen, all this pizza is getting to me, all right? Don't judge me. Okay, so the smells coming off of this thing sure are an ensemble. Nothing to it but to do it. I'm so nervous about the lingonberry. Wait, but actually? I think we took lessons from the first pizza and we applied them, and I think we learned.
I'm really excited about the lingonberry.
Yeah.
Because I'm a sucker for sweet and salty.
Yeah. You're welcome for the ASMR there. Now let me whisper in your ear. Tell you something that you might like to hear. Wait till you see my crust. So how are
I
you?
love the lingonberry.
Wait. I saw that. What is it?
ASMR there. Now let me whisper in your ear. Tell you something.
Fun fact. During our American Cancer Society stream, I actually distracted Ash by referencing this song again. It's a classic. I love the Yin Yang Twins. Sorry, Ash. Sorry. Ash from GT Life. Sorry.
That you might like to hear. Wait till you see my crust. So how are
I
you?
love the lingonberry. It's just the right amount. It's not overpowering.
Adds a little sweetness.
Oh my god, the sriracha. It just hit my eyes watering.
Yeah, you're seeing 5 dimensions now.
The ingredients are all friends.
They fight a little bit, but it's just like the Avengers.
Anyway, you know what I'm not really tasting though? The blue cheese, I just realized.
You can blame that on the person who cut the pizza.
You know what I think it is? Your drizzle skills are not it.
What does that have to do with anything?
I was really hungry in the first pizza. I went a little crazy with the 3.2. I think the first one was like a 2.7.
No, you can't retract your score.
This is a 3.2.
Yeah, no takesies backsies on the score. We're gonna up yours to a 3.5. This is so scary because it's like seeing your work being graded by your teacher.
I don't want to just like piggyback off you guys, but I'm surprised that it works because I didn't expect it to.
So behind the scenes, as I described the Avengers pizza, he was like, yeah, it'll definitely go on the pizza. Guys, have some faith in my skills. I love that everyone's like, whoa, no one thought this could have worked. I may not be able to expertly craft pizza dough, but I do know one thing, and that's how to turn nerdy things into food. All right, I will concede I need to work on my topping distribution skills, but only that. Okay, so that actually tasted delicious. Probably my favorite pizza that I've ever made by myself with no help whatsoever. But what we learned more than anything is that texture is really important, almost equally as important as the flavors that you incorporate. So going into our 4-quadrant pizza, we need to take into account the flavors, how they interact with each other, but also what textures we're introducing in each of the 4 quadrants. So let's break it down character by character, starting with Reed Richards, AKA
I don't know what's that.
Mr. Fantastic, aka Pedro Pascal in this movie. Here's what you need to know about Reed Richards for the purposes of this pizza. 1, he's the smartest man alive. Literally top 3 minds in the Marvel universe. That doesn't really help us much. His powers, however, do. See, he has the power to stretch himself to unbelievable.
Wait, I'll see the lists again. I might have some argument about it.
Himself to alive. Literally top 3 minds.
Alright, red shirt. Yep. Big Wheel. Kang the Conqueror. I'm pretty sure that's Kang the Conqueror, not Kang the Colormerator. Tony Stank. Tony Stank. I'm not sure if you know this. It was who? Lee, right? Lee, the creator of it. I forgot. Richard Lee, Tony Lee. Okay, the creator of one of the main character of the Marvel universe. He said in one of the movies, I think it was Captain American's Civil War. I forgot his name. Gosh, I forgot his name. I know his face. I'm looking at his face right now. I just forgot his name. Okay, so anyways, he at the final scene, I think it was credits. He act out as the delivery guy, and then he was like, "I got this for Tony Stank." Not Tony Stark, Tony Stank. You know, Iron Man.
In the Marvel universe. That doesn't really help us much. His powers, however, do. See, he has the power to stretch himself to unbelievable lengths and heights. Every part of himself. That is how he was able to bag a dime like Sue Storm.
Oh!
To stretch himself, how do we convey that power? Well, that's easy. Extra cheese. But not just extra cheese on the
Okay, look. With all due respect, according to the lore, according to the proper story, Rick Richards and Sue Storm were already together before he had those powers, if you know what I mean. Okay, so he was a good guy. He was the guy for the girl before that.
slice itself. We're gonna stuff that crust.
Comment down below if you actually know what I mean. Sorry.
So that every bite is a picturesque cheese pull. Ben Grimm, aka The Thing, giant orange rock monster. He's also a really cool guy.
It's clobber time!
Beneath all of that, really, a giant teddy bear. So how do we represent him? Little Caesars did actually get one thing right. The sausage that they used ended up giving his quadrant a look that was similar to his orange appearance. But here's the thing, you can't just use any sausage. Ben Grimm is a Jewish man from New York. He's gonna keep kosher. I know, he doesn't keep kosher in the comics all the time. We're trying to represent, all right? Jeez. So we're gonna get kosher sausage, put it on top of his quadrant so that it gets that nice meaty, rocky look to it. The comments made sure to remind me over and over that by putting the kosher sausage on non-kosher cheese and the rest of the pizza, it nullifies everything. That was a mistake that no one caught during the research, writing, and even editing phases. Listen, it happens, especially when things are on tight turnarounds. But we're gonna finish it off with two other ingredients. The first one, cheddar cheese crisp.
Well, sorry.
Nice crumbles of cheddar cheese that will really make that orange color pop and give it that crunchy texture like you're chewing on rock. The final ingredient that we're gonna put in this quadrant, thyme. Get it? Because it's clobbering time. That's his line. It's clobbering time. So not
Let's
this
go!
time. The herb. We're gonna put this. Why are we still here? Too much of a pun? Okay, moving on. Johnny Storm. Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch. Now, this is another thing that Little Caesars got right with his quadrant. They tried to make it spicy. But jalapenos are just not spicy enough. Not for the Human Torch. So we gotta kick it up a notch. Instead of jalapenos, we're gonna use habaneros. But that's not all there is to Johnny. He's very charismatic. He's also a hunk. So we need to add a little bit of meat on there. We need to add a little bit of protein, and that is gonna be some pepperoni. And to top it all off, something that harkens that his fire. And to top it all off, we're gonna add one final ingredient that's gonna lean into his fiery side, but also
Bro, keep it family friendly and wholesome, thank you.
Also his charming, charismatic side. We need some sweet heat, so we're gonna drizzle some hot honey to round off his quadrant. And finally, Sue Storm, aka the Invisible Woman. Now this one was gonna be hard. I was gonna be cheeky and do what Little Caesars did and just make it a cheese slice, nice and plain, no toppings, but that's not enough. She's invisible, but she's still there. So we need to find a way to make ingredients invisible. But if you wanna make invisible toppings, the best way to do it is by not making them toppings.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
See, we're gonna get some white onions, sweat them, and put them under the cheese so that they're translucent and hidden, but with all the flavor and texture that you expect. But that's not all, because we're gonna drizzle some truffle oil on top of her quadrant that you won't be able to see, but will still bring in a graceful punch of flavor that'll have you craving more. So with that, we've rounded off the 4 characters. We have distinct characteristics of all of them represented in textures and flavors across the pizza. I'm actually super excited to try this out, so let's see once and for all if I can make a new and improved version of Little Caesars pizza. Did I already mention how distracting I am? Well, multiply that by a lot when you add cheese. Now, while he's doing that and doing all the hard work, I do have one quick question for you at home. Do you string the cheese or do you just bite it? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're at it, subscribe. Because like, why are you here? You've made it like 20 minutes into the episode if you're not subscribed.
No, you make it into 50 plus minutes into the video. But anyways, thank you so much. Remember to subscribe, comment, like, share, comment, follow. You get the point. Let's continue.
Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Ready for the money shot?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for subscribing.
That's why you subscribe. We really only have one shot at this because I'm never gonna be invited back. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Sorry.
Almost there.
Are you letting the pressure get to you?
No, I do not crumble under pressure.
I'm gonna do like one of those gym bro slaps. Just yes, there we go. Pizza was ready, which can only mean one thing. I get to do my other super important job, door opening. Honestly, what would have happened without me there for that crucial job? You're welcome. But enough stalling. Pizza, prepare.
Yeah, door opening. Very important. Definitely. Yeah.
To be devoured. We have completed our fantastic four-quadrant pizza. Visually speaking, this is already an improvement on the Little Caesar pizza. This has nice, vibrant colors. You can see a big difference between all 4 quadrants, where that one like didn't really. Not to toot my own horn or anything. I'll let you guys be the judges of that. Let's take a bite. Help! Okay, now I will say I am biased here. I like fugaceta pizza, which is literally just cheese and onion. And this is kind of what this is. The crust, once again, delicious. Mr. Fantastic. Oh, all right, let me try this stuffed crust. That's Mr. Fantastic right there.
With all due respect, why didn't you just kind of 8 pieces? You're going to share this with your partner, your spouse, your wife. Just kind of 8 pieces, you know.
How do you not do stuffed crust with Mr. Fantastic? All right, those are the easy ones though. We got cheddar crisp and Italian sausage for the thing. Nice and orange. We got nice rock hard textures. I actually really like the crunch, the crisp of the cheddar crisp. It screams thing. Last but very certainly not least, the thing I'm most nervous about. Human Torch. The best thing here are the bell peppers. It adds such a nice flavor, and the char on them, especially. Pepperoni is there in the back, just to remind you it's there. There's a habanero.
Same order?
Same order, whatever order you want. Oh my God.
Too many onions for me.
Oh, well, okay.
But it's going.
But can you see the onions?
No.
Exactly, invisible.
This is what I'm most excited about.
Oh yeah, take it from there. Ooh, yes. Can't go wrong with extra cheese. Oh, yes.
Really good.
Yeah.
The stuffed crust is so good.
Stuffed crust is amazing.
I like how you cut them evenly.
Thank you. I did that all myself, as you can see in the footage. Clearly my hands.
I freaking love that.
Yeah.
That's my favorite, hands down.
For sure. I realized that I forgot an essential ingredient for the thing. It's clobbering time. Get it? Because that's his catchphrase. And time could be multiple things. Let's see if that affects the experience. It actually just makes it better. But, Billy, come on in. You gotta try this monstrosity now.
I am gonna go in the same order as you.
I think it's the only way to do it.
It's clobbering time. Time.
I'm a big fan of onions, so
that's what I'm saying.
This works well.
But you can't see the onions. They're invisible.
Correct. Good here. We'll go to Reed next.
Oh, yes.
This is good.
Oh,
very cheesy.
Wait till you get to the stuffed crust. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheese on pizza? What a concept.
Right? I'm curious about this, because this was Claudia's favorite.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Let's go! Now suffer with me.
also an excellent slice of pizza.
Which quadrant would you say is your favorite?
I'm a big fan of spice and peppers, so I'm gonna have to go with Human Torch.
Okay. I didn't ask you your rating.
3.3.
Wow, that was less than the last round. Okay, cool. How would you give this rating?
I'm gonna go with 3.8.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna be the annoying one this time and say 3.75. This is definitely an improvement over the last one. I think the textures all around work really, really well. So close to Fantastic Four. Honestly, who would have thunk? You can bet your bottom dollar, me. All that work, all that lore, all that flavor. And we have accomplished that goal. Now, of course, we are a little biased, so we'll let you decide in the comments below if we truly did fix Little Caesars pizza. But there's something else here that we can all learn from this. I never thought I'd say
Thank you so much. Comment down below. Thank you.
this, but I can't have any pizza for like at least 4 days now. That was delicious in every way, but I am pizzaed out. But mission accomplished. Now, we made a new and improved version of Little Caesars pizza that accurately represents the 4 beloved characters, and it was pretty delicious, if I do say so myself. So this is a message to all of you fast food chains out there watching this. Keep in mind these characters the next time that you create a food item based on them. Don't just look at the surface level. Look at where they're from. Look at their powers, what makes them who they are, and make your food embody them. We, the fans, will thank you, and I promise you, we'll eat that up. Last but certainly not least, this is probably the most useful episode in this compilation. Yeah, at least in the sense that I feel like reheating leftover pizza is something most of us encounter on a semi-regular basis. No? Just me? Okay. You, yes you, are reheating your pizza wrong.
Dry up.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory, where...
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory.
I have made a deliciously horrible mistake. See, against my better half's better judgment, I may have ordered just a tad too much pizza. I did have an entire one last night, but now I'm left with this. Okay, let me explain something here because it doesn't even look like that much pizza. First of all, Claudia explained that she would not be having any of the leftovers with me, and 2 pizzas is a lot for me the day after having even more pizza. Also, I may have eaten one of the pizzas I'd meant to save for this video the night before, hence only 2 left over. So yeah, I have enough pizza to put the Ninja Turtles in a food coma. Cheddar in a half shell. Point is, I gotta make my way through all these leftovers. But I've decided not to let this opportunity go to waste because I, once and for all, I'm gonna find out what the best method for reheating pizza is. I'm gonna look at 3 factors: taste, texture, and time. Ooh, 3 T's? I made that up right off the rip right there. Originally it was like flavor, texture, and time, but then I made it into the 3 T's. All right, we might keep this in, who knows? To quote Amy over on Style Theory, listen, I had a long day ahead
Hi, Amy, from Style Theorists. Listen.
of me, and
I'm listening.
it was delirious, okay? So, we have the 3 T's. For starters, the reheated pizza must still taste like the original pizza the next day. We want our method to preserve the original flavor of the pizza, not leave us with a bland, stale, or burned triangle of disappointment. We also have to keep texture.
Alright, if I'm not wrong, if you have a microwave or if a microwave oven, you can try doing this method. Put it in the microwave and put a glass of water beside it. And start the process. Ding! It's good. Why? Because it's gonna draw the moisture away from the pizza, and the glass of water next to it is gonna help redistribute a bit of the water back in, if I'm not wrong. So pizza in, glass of water in, close door, start machine.
In mind. Flavor doesn't mean anything if the texture of your pizza is trash. You know what I'm talking about. Spongy dough, tough, chewy crust, greasy, tasteless, congealed cheese. Even the most delicious tasting pizza in the world will be gross if the texture just isn't right. Again, we're gonna want the cooking method we use to restore as much of the original flavor and texture of the pizza as possible. That includes the crispiness of the crust and the stretchiness of the cheese. Lastly, we're gonna be scoring each method on how easy and convenient they are. Cause let's be real, if I'm lazy enough to order a pizza instead of cooking on a Friday night, I'm also probably gonna be feeling too lazy to recook a slice come Saturday morning. Now, time is kind of a twofer here because really it's time and effort. It doesn't really matter as much if something takes a long time, if I can just leave it and forget it until it's time to take it out. Whereas something might take a lot of effort in a short amount of time, but I have to be paying attention to the timer and the amount of water left or the pizza will burn and it's just too complicated. As for our appliances, today we're testing the microwave, the oven, the air
Understandable.
fryer, the skillet, and a secret time-tested technique that the goats and kids swear by. But before we begin air frying and microwaving, we got to understand what happens to a pizza when it's refrigerated overnight. Like it or not, the next day flavor changes are inevitable, and there's not really a whole lot you can do to prevent them from happening. Luckily, tomato sauce is one of the food items that might actually help your pizza taste better the next day. When pizza sauce cools overnight, the ingredients essentially have more time to marinate, just like it would if you were cooking it in a slow marinade. The result is a fuller tasting, thicker, richer tomato sauce nestled beneath all that cheese. Not to reheat the nachos of previous food theory videos, but we also have to account for retrogradation of the dough's starches. Retrogradation changes the sugar content and texture of pizza as it cools overnight. Both cooking and cooling cause the food's starch molecules to pack themselves tightly together, which makes them more difficult to digest. As this occurs, some of the starch in your food becomes resistant, which means that its sugar molecules aren't as easily broken apart and absorbed into your bloodstream as they would have been pre-cooling. Resistant starches are naturally found in plant foods like beans, potatoes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, bananas, and plantains. But cooling your food overnight can cause additional resistant starches to form. Believe it or not, creating more resistant starches in your food actually makes them healthier for you. Because resistant starches aren't easily digested, they tend to spike your blood sugar much less than regular starch does. See, pizza for breakfast is part of a balanced diet. Refrigeration is also going to
But there's a lot of caveats, a lot of conditions.
significantly affect all that tasty cheese. The stretchiness of cheese is actually one of the most important factors in the pizza devouring experience. And not just because it looks mouth-wateringly good to pull a couple slices apart. Stretchability is defined as the ability of cheese to form fibrous strands that are able to stretch without breaking. In fact, mozzarella is specifically used on pizza, not just for its flavor, but because it has one of the highest stretchability factors among all cheeses. During the mozzarella manufacturing process, the cheese is stretched in hot water using a mechanical mixer. This repeated pulling results in high stretchability as the proteins are aligned parallel into fibers with the cheese's fat. As cheese matures, lactic acid fermentation gradually dissolves the bond between calcium and protein structures. That's why high acid cheeses like feta, ricotta, or cottage cheese aren't stretchy and don't melt as easily as mozzarella. But cheese with too little lactic acid fermentation won't melt at all. Halloumi cheese, which is low in acid, also has an equally restricted melting factor. You really need to find that sweet spot of the right acidity to get that perfect melty, stretchy cheese, and mozzarella checks every box. Unfortunately for pizza, and my stomach, refrigeration significantly decreases the stretchability of cheese, which is why the cheese on a cold slice of pizza is more condensed and congealed than a fresh, hot slice. After sitting in the fridge all night, proteolysis occurs, a process that breaks down protein and removes damaged cells, causing the cheese to soften, weaken, and lose its stretchiness. The longer your pizza chills, the more moisture it loses, drying out the cheese and also lessening its stretchiness. That's why a cube of fresh, wet mozzarella is the best cheese.
This was a joke take, and I did not expect Yoshi, our wonderful audio wizard, to keep in. But honestly, it was so funny, I'm glad he did. Well, Yoshi, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to audio wizard, Yoshi. Thank you.
To use in the first place to top your pie. So to recap, the fridge is both a magical and hellish place to store your leftover pizza. On one hand, it'll thicken and enrichen the tomato sauce and form resistant starches. On the other hand, it'll lose its stretchability the longer it's in there. First off, we're starting with a tried and true classic, the microwave. Now, we're actually gonna do two methods involving the microwave. One, we're gonna stick a slice in by itself for about a minute, take it out, no muss, no fuss. That's how Dad did it, that's how America does it, and it's worked out pretty well so far. The other method is sticking another slice in there with a glass of water, which should help with the moisture and therefore sogginess and chewy.
Yes. The glass of water, that one helps. Granted, if you don't have a glass of water, I think a ceramic cup also can help, I guess.
Of the pizza. So let's get started. To understand why expert pizzaiolos sneer at the idea of using radiation boxes to zap up a slice, we gotta dive into how exactly our often most used appliance works. Microwaves use non-ionizing radiation, which will not cause changes to your DNA, unlike ionizing radiation. It can, however, still burn you. Its technology is specifically designed to alter the texture and taste of the food it heats. And microwave isn't just the name of the item, it's the form of energy. It's invisible to the human eye and falls in length between radio and infrared waves. We've talked about exactly how they work in a—
Yep. So you can use an oven, like for example, you can use an oven to bake, to prepare, to cook, to, I don't know, make a pizza. You can make a pizza with an oven, you can make a pizza with a microwave, you can make a pizza with a microwave oven.
previous episode, but TLDW, microwaves cook the outside of the food and the heat from that transfers to the inside, cooking it via heat transfer. This is exactly why Hot Pockets are so dicey. The thickness of their crust prevents an even cook inside, which is why sometimes you bite into an iceberg disguised as a pepperoni, and other times your mouth is filled with the drippings of Satan's lava lamp. But here's why microwaving your food turns it into a floppy, chewy mess. As the water molecules in the food heat up, they release as steam. Being trapped in the microwave with hot moisture removes all semblance of crispiness from your pizza, making the crust feel soggier than a sweaty sock. Steam cooking also makes proteins denser, restricting the cheese from stretching as much as it could if it were heated by another method. Okay, so the pizza is done. Let's take it out. Oh, the plate's not that hot. Ooh. There was a weird noise there. I think I just broke my microwave. So right off the rip, we see a lot of moisture all over.
And that's the thing about microwave that is being inbuilt into your kitchen instead of microwave that is like, you know, freestanding on the desk. Oh, sorry, a desk? On the counter, yes, on the counter desk. In which an inbuilt microwave into the wall, into the kitchen, is maintenance-wise going to be significantly harder. Maintenance-wise, it's going to be significantly harder. Granted, it looks aesthetically more pleasing to the eye. But on the long term, like genuinely on the long term, I'm talking about years, decades. Okay, half a decade of usage, half a decade of usage is going to break down, or a decade of usage, 10 years later, it's going to break down. If you want to sell the house, well, the microwave has to be gone or something. So, yeah.
Over the plate, but the other
it could be a double-edged sword. And not only that, if you want to upgrade your microwave, or you want to upgrade your microwave oven, or you know, it's kind of limited by size because there's a hole in your wall or in a cabinet. There's a hole in the wall in the cabinet, and yeah, you are limited to purchasing microwave of that size or smaller.
thing we notice is that there is a decent amount of fat pooling on the top. Now, the reason—
And let's be honest, in our current day and age where we rarely cook, or even we do cook, it's more like boil or steam, having a microwave doesn't really help much. We can use air fryer for that. We can genuinely use air fryer for that. And air fryer is, how's it, more, okay, you get the point.
For this is because the microwave is actually changing the composition of the fats in the cheese. This is something called lipolysis. Lipolysis is where the triglyceride fats break down into free fatty acids and glycerol. This change in molecular structure leaks out some fats. But don't be fooled, just because microwaving a meal causes it to technically have less fat, it's also turning healthy fats into unhealthy fats. Now, reheating once is going to do negligible damage, but keep this in mind if for some reason you keep reheating the same slice over and over again. So let's try this out because I can already tell there's a decent amount of sponginess and chewiness that's about to happen, but let's see how the taste is. The crust is way chewier. You don't really have any sort of crunchiness at all. It's lost a lot of flavor. Honestly, like I know I'm eating a pizza, but I can't taste that I'm eating a pizza. On a scale of 1 to 5, I'm gonna have to put this at like a 2, because there's a little bit in the cheese, but as soon as you get to the crust and the rest of the dough, there's just nothing there. In terms of texture, it is chewy. It is exactly what you don't want. It's spongy. There's not really much moisture in the crust. It's weirdly dry. And the cheese itself has congealed and is not a good texture. This is also gonna be a 2. Now, in terms of time, we ended up only doing 30 seconds in the microwave. 1 minute in mine was way too much. That has to be a 5. That's kind of the gold standard. You get nice hot pizza in 30 seconds. As long as you don't care too much about the flavor or the texture.
Water.
Now,
yes.
method number 2 with the microwave was actually recommended highly by Lee and a million other people on the internet. And that is putting a glass of water in with the slice of pizza. I don't see how this is.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lee, from the film theorists. Thank you.
It's gonna help, but let's do it. Slice, water goes in. So we're just gonna put it right next to it and hope for the best. And we're dancing. We're dancing. We're dancing. We're in the dun dun. Boop, 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 boop. Throw it back. Throw it back. Oh, what? Bring it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Right off the rip, you can see that there's almost no moisture around the pizza on the plate. Like, this is a stark difference from the first time around. Underneath, there was a lot of moisture, but around on the plate, there was nothing. It feels less spongy. And honestly, kind of looks good. Let's see. Whoa. Now, this was fascinating to me because I never in a million years expected a sad glass of water to actually do anything to help the cook of the pizza. But what's occurring here is that the glass of water acts as a steam decoy in a sense. Because the microwave energy is now also heating the water in the cup, some of that microwave power is diverted away from the pizza, slowing down how fast it cooks. And lower energy means a less soggy slice. On top of that, the cup of water releases extra moisture into the microwave environment, which can help keep the cheese from turning rubbery. That is a stark difference in the two flavors. The cheese has
Comment down below if you actually recognize the 3 stocks. Okay, I'm just gonna say it out, okay? Stock! Iron Man! Stock! Game of Thrones! Stock! Feared.
Gained a lot of moisture and it's not as congealed and therefore has a lot of flavor. It's not perfect, but honestly, that is not bad. The crust has maintained a lot of its flavor. Listen, I can't go as high as a 4. That is a 3.5. I'm shocked by this. In terms of texture, it's still a little spongy. There's no crisp to it, but it's not as dry. Is it ideal? Not really. Is it as good as the night before? Not really either, but it's good enough to get away with a 3. Now, in terms of time, this is 100% a 5 because all it took was getting a glass of water, which is another 10 seconds. But you put it in there for 30 seconds and you get an incredibly serviceable slice of pizza. That is fantastic. Right now, that's the one to beat for me, but let's move on. So we're moving away from the microwave and to the oven. And here, once again, we're gonna be looking at 2 methods. The first one is a shorter cook time when you just can't wait to chow down. And the second is going to be a much longer one if you have time to perfect the cook. Let's get started with the shorter one, shall we? For the quick oven method, we're gonna preheat to 400 degrees. When it's ready, put the pizza in and set a timer for 10 minutes. In theory, food theory, this method will help retain the crispiness of the crust because it bakes both the pizza and the moisture inside of it more evenly than the microwave. The downside here is that we risk drying out the cheese and reducing its stretchiness. Okay, so we have just taken it out of the oven. I have to say, it looks a lot more orange and a lot more kind of burnt than anything else. If you look at the non-heated slice versus the heated slice, there is a stark difference in color. Now, the oven slice is very hard right now. There's like no movement in here whatsoever, which is not necessarily good because I feel like this is gonna be a lot harder and drier. Kind of like when bread has been left out for too many days and it's just... It's actually really similar to what happened in the first microwave method. And that's because the same fat breakdown that happened with the microwave technique is also happening here. Only it's slightly less noticeable because it isn't happening rapidly. Let's see. In terms of the flavor, it's very reminiscent of the first microwave method. I know I'm chewing on something, but there's no flavor there. So the end result ends up being the same. It's lacking in a lot of flavor. Let's see the crust. Damn near broke a tooth right there. It's very dense.
Sorry.
It does have more flavor than the first microwave method in the crust. The garlic is still there. Cheese, not so much. Like all the moisture has just been dried out of here. From a flavor perspective, honestly, this is like a 2. There's a little more flavor in the crust, but the cheese and the rest of the pizza is just not it. In terms of the texture, honestly, for me, this is gonna be a 1. I almost prefer a soggier taste than a dense, dry one. At least in the microwave, I didn't feel like I was gonna break a tooth on it. It's nice, but it's so dense and dry. I feel like I need water right now. And you have the worst parts of the microwave cheese. Yeah, this is a 1. This is not it. In terms of time,
I'm sorry. That was rude of me. Sorry.
it was preheating the oven and then sticking it in there. So like maybe 13 minutes total. It's not the worst thing in the world and you just stick it on the rack. I'll give this a 3 for time because it's very little effort, a little more time than you would like, but not the worst thing in the world. Unfortunately, the end result, look at that. The end result is just not what you want. It's not it, fam. Let's move on to the long method. Now, I have been preheating this bad boy for an hour at 500 degrees Fahrenheit, as high as my oven allows. But here's the twist. I've also put my pizza stone in there, and it's been in there the entire time, so it is scalding hot. What we're gonna do is put a slice of pizza directly onto the pizza stone for 5 minutes and see what we get. Now, I've been dying for an excuse to use a pizza stone for a video. The idea behind them is that they get preheated with the oven, and when the pizza is placed on them, it cooks the base of the pizza evenly while also drawing out moisture to prevent the soggies. If my hunch is correct, this should also help in the reheating process, and we might even get a nice char. When we're talking about taste and new flavors being added to a pizza, it isn't necessarily a bad thing. For example, reheating a slice just right might add a smoky, charred flavor that'll bring the crust back to life. Unlike burning, which overcooks the food past the point of being edible, charring only partially burns or browns the food. This is the famous Maillard effect. We've talked about it before.
Yep, the Maillard effect. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm so sorry. But you get the point. It helps. I mean, there's a reason why it exists.
At length. But what can I say? More reheated nachos making it into my reheated pizza vid. But basically, the Maillard reaction is a chemical reaction that occurs between amino acids and sugars, leading to caramelization, browning, and development in flavor and aroma. Not to be confused with the Maillard reaction, which happens when Daffy Duck declares it's rabbit season. But there's a catch to look out for.
Rabbit season? Rabbit season. Sorry.
Many pizzas are purposefully charred on the bottom to give it that smoky taste the first time around. If you go too far in reheating a pre-charred pizza, it can actually cause an acrid tasting soot to form on the dough of your pizza. Needless to say, we're not trying to inhale an ashtray here. We're not Tom Maluka. Shout out to my niche stage magician fans out there. And if that's you, make sure to perform my favorite trick and click that subscribe button. Now this looks...
Thank you so much. Subscribe. Thank you.
Amazing. It feels like it's had color and life injected back into it. Look at this. Look at this. It's gonna be nice and crispy. And I know nowadays everyone's like, oh my God, no flop. It's because they're all copying a certain somebody that we're talking about on the channel. A little flop is good, but what you want with that flop is crunch and crispiness at the bottom. So let's see. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, this is amazing.
Wow.
The crisp at the bottom, the cheese, a little bit of fat that's come back up and bubbled up to the top and added moisture that way, but not like in the microwave where the fat was different and the cheese was congealed. Here, the cheese feels like it's been freshly melted. Bro, it's so good. This, on a scale of 1 to 5, from a flavor perspective, legitimately, 5. Texture, 5. You have moisture in the cheese and in the dough underneath. It's not spongy. The crust itself is nice and fluffy. That's the biggest thing. With the other ones, it just wasn't as fluffy. It was dense. This feels airy again. This is a 5 and a 5. Let's talk about time and effort. This took a long time. This was an hour. An hour and 5 minutes if you think about it. It was an hour to preheat and get up to temperature, and then 5 minutes of the slice in the oven. That's not ideal. Is it the worst thing in the world? No, because you can put it in there and forget about it for an hour, but here's the kicker. Without the pizza stone, this method is a lot less effective. And that right there is a lot of effort. If you don't have a pizza stone, you have to get a pizza stone. Highly recommended just while we're here, but it's still a lot of effort to buy one and get one and put it in the oven, store it, blah, 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 all that stuff. I had to get this out from a bunch of stuff and put it in there. Honestly, the effort is deceiving. Is it worth it? I would say yes, but that doesn't mean that this gets away scot-free. I think from a time and effort perspective, this is gonna get a 1.5 out of 5. The long time might not have been an issue if we didn't have to get a full pizza stone to put in there and all that jazz. But we're
I think Santi is being very kind. Instead of saying 1.5, I would try to say 1. Why? Because there are prior examples set by Santi that's like 30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds plus 10 seconds of getting water, 40 seconds. Versus our... You see? There's a proper comparison prior to this.
not done, and there's a lot more pizza to have, so let's move on. I was only half kidding in the intro. I just want to see if it'll work. I'm gonna blow dry the pizza for a minute and see what changes occur. And let's go.
Fun fact, after this, I decided to heat it for 5 minutes to see it would change. It got worse. So I decided to leave that out since it was redundant.
Let's see what's changed here. It's lukewarm at the bottom. Some heat has transferred down. It's so dry. It's barely done anything. The crust is straight up cold. I will be honest, it didn't remove any flavor. The microwave and the short oven cook straight up removed flavor. This at least didn't. It's just like lukewarm. It's not really hot. I'll give it a 2 for flavor. It's just a little...
To be fair, it's like surface level heat, superficial heat. It's not penetrating. The heat is not penetrating deep enough. It's still cold, as you mentioned. The inner part of it is still cold.
Weird because like there are patches that are warmer than others. In terms of texture, it's really dry. The hot air blowing dried out pretty much anything that could have been on there for moisture. I'll give it a 2 as well. In terms of time and effort, it only took a minute, but I had to hold the hairdryer and I had to hold it above. You saw what happened. If I started dropping my hand, it would go in a circle. So that's gonna be a 1. You've let me down, hairdryer, for the first time in your life. Let's move on.
Sorry. A bit more sensible. Air fryer.
And now it's time to move on to the 21st century, shall we? I should have done this before. It's time to duel.
Let's go!
With the air fryer. It's time to, whatever. I tried being cute.
It's time to duel. Yu-Gi-Oh!
Tried being cute. Using the air fryer to reheat leftovers of any kind is a god tier move in terms of a short cooking time and the resulting excellent crispiness. Unlike a microwave, an air fryer blasts the surface of the pizza with a constant stream of very hot, dry air. That does 2 things at once. It evaporates surface moisture quickly, so instead of trapping steam in the crust, it lets it escape before it can make things soggy. And it crisps before it dries. The heat is intense enough to brown and re-crisp the outer crust and melt the cheese before the interior has time to lose too much moisture. It's all about the speed and direction of heat transfer, which is exactly why the hairdryer failed me. Looks pretty good.
Sorry.
Okay, so right off the rip, this is kind of an in-between. Between the short oven cook and the first microwave method and the long oven cook. Where the long oven cook was a 5 and the short microwave cook was like a 1 or a 2. This is honestly very middle of the road because the flavor isn't fully there. There is flavor in the cheese, there is moisture, a lot of flavor left in the crust. It's not nearly as dense as the short oven cook time method. It's airy, not as airy as the long, but this is a good compromise. I'm gonna say flavor-wise, really solid. This is a 4. I wouldn't even say middle of the road. The crust especially remains very flavorful. The cheese is honestly fine. It's moist, which is nice. When it comes to texture, I'm gonna give it a 4 because here's the thing. This is probably the closest to how it came last night, like when it was fresh. The crust is airy. It's not super crispy underneath the cheese, but it's not soggy. It's not super chewy. Let me do that without food in my mouth. The crust is crusting. It's a little airy, a little dense, kind of like it's been sitting in the box.
I'm so sorry. I shouldn't be making fun of things. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Half an hour from the restaurant to my place. The dough underneath the cheese, not as crispy as the oven cook, but it's not soggy either. The cheese as a texture is just fine. So I'm honestly gonna give this a 4. Now, in terms of time and effort, no preheat time. 5 minutes for this kind of a result, that's a 5, easily. But it's time to stop relying on appliances and start relying on my chef skills. Let's move on to the skillet. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I have a pizza.
Not so fun fact, I legit did have a pizza header here. You can notice my energy take a sharp dip afterwards. I was also getting nauseous, not fun. here's my recommendations. Don't eat so many pizza at one go, all at the same time. Have a pause in between, half an hour, 1 hour. Take a break, recover a bit, take a pause, or do something else. Then second bite, then third bite, Yeah, take a break. This entire video could be done within 1 day. Understandable. It's not done within one meal.
It's a headache. But we're on to the final round, which is using the skillet. This is kind of the preferred method for a lot of like YouTube food creators out there. They all swear by this. So let's see how it works out. To start, place your slice of pizza on a cold pan and heat over medium-low heat for 2 to 3 minutes. Next, add a shot glass full of water to the pan and cover for about 5 more minutes. There is a little bit of variance here. Some people will do a preheated pan with some oil, but this is the most common variant I've found. Now, the reason why this is the most complex to explain is because there's a lot of different factors at play here. Different stoves will require different cook time, and you might have to play around with the settings of your burners to find the sweet spot. I even had a hard time with it for the first slice. Okay, so I think we may have used just a bit too much water here. Listen, the flavor's good. The cheese on top has melted, but the bottom was way too wet. So let's run it back and try it again. User error really isn't helping the time and effort score here, but hopefully using an ice cube, like I've seen some people do online, will give us the perfect amount of water instead of accidentally adding too much. What I will say is that the colors look much more vibrant here than in pretty much any other reheating method. The sauce is popping a little bit more. The cheese isn't as orange. The crust isn't as brown. And look at that. It's looking pretty good. So let's, oh man. Wow, okay. The crispiness of the crust of the dough underneath the cheese is a different ballgame. I thought looking at it that it was still gonna be a little soggy, and it is a little bit. The crust is a little more greasy than I expected it to be. It is a little chewier than I would like it to be. It's airy, but chewy. Underneath the cheese, it's perfect. You got that nice little crunch as you bite in. The cheese is remelted, not as much as I would like, and I think this really comes down to the effort of the skillet method, but we'll get there. In terms of flavor, the cheese hasn't lost any flavor. The crust hasn't lost any flavor. I'm gonna give this a 4.5, just because it doesn't reach the levels of the long cook oven method. It just doesn't feel as fresh. It does feel like a reheated pizza, but a 4.5 is a fantastic score. When it comes to the texture, I think I'm gonna have to give this a 4 because the crust is a little chewier than I would like. It's airy, which is nice, but it's missing that nice crunchiness. The saving grace here is the crisp of the dough underneath the cheese and a little bit of the cheese itself. Once again, this tastes eerily similar to how it would if it came straight out the box the night before. That's a 4. But let's talk about time and effort. Because listen, as far as time goes, this took less than 10 minutes. It took a little bit more than the air fryer, but less than the short oven cook method.
But it took longer than a microwave. It took longer than a microwave oven. And you do recognize that, there's as per mentioned, the user error. So you need some sort of skills. In comparison to using microwave ovens, you tick tick, pa, or air fryer, pa, then tick tick.
From that perspective, that's a win. The problem is the complication that comes with the actual skill needed. There's a lot of variables going on here. You have the stove. Now mine is electric, so it took me a little bit to find the right heat for the pan, whereas if it were gas, it's a little easier to gauge. The
fun fact, you notice that his
second thing is the amount of water. You don't want to put...
Oh, I noticed he have a microwave and an oven. He have microwave on top and the ovens at the bottom. And he's have a electric stove. All three are inbuilt into the kitchen. I think aesthetically speaking, it looks brilliant. In terms of maintenance, well, not so quite. Not so quite in terms of maintenance. I can't really speak much because I don't really use ovens. I use microwave, yes. But that's the thing. As I mentioned before, if there's anything wrong with your microwave or you want to upgrade your microwave or you want to upgrade your oven, it's going to be difficult. The stove, I highly recommend you not have an inbuilt stove on your kitchen counter. I highly recommend you not doing that. Let's say for example, he have two, right? So he have left and right. Okay? From my personal experience, one of these is going to get spoiled. the reason why mine is okay, so there's one is induction and the one is conduction, like I guess heat or conduction. So one of it doesn't work anymore. I think it's because we place our pot with sometimes there's still a bit wet underneath and on top of it, and it just over a couple of years it just damaged it. So right now, for a couple of years, our stove is left and right. The left one is just spoiled. We only using the right one. Our family is not that big. It's a handful of individuals, so it's still usable. It's still okay. But as let's say if you want to sell the house in the future, well, people is gonna say that your inbuilt electric stove, do you maintain it? Granted, in comparison, if you have a electric stove, there's like you can take it out and store it inside or something like that. It's a different case. So I do not recommend. I honestly do not recommend having for the regular folks out there, for the average Singaporeans out there, to have an inbuilt microwave, inbuilt oven, inbuilt stove into your kitchen. I do not recommend it. Okay, I do not recommend it. Because let's say down the road, half a decade, 1 decade, 2 decades later, you want to sell the house. You want to, you want to sell the apartment. Or maybe half a decade down the road, or 1 decade down the road, the machine spoil. It's inevitable that the machine is going to spoil. You have to remove your entire countertop. You have to remove your entire machine out, and it's going to be a huge wall there. And you have to find a replacement that is the exact same size. Which, let's be honest, 5 years later, 10 years later, 20 years later, the factory that is making the same microwave, the same ovens, the same stove, might not continue the production. You're screwed. Yeah.
Too much water, or else your piece will come out really, really soggy. Now, with that,
that's my observations after being through my friends' new apartments, my siblings' apartments, my family's apartments. That's my observations. You want to have a stove? Cool. I recommend having an electric stove that's external. Something that after usage you can just put it and keep it or in the storeroom or keep it underneath the cabinet. Cool. If you want to have a microwave, don't purchase the one that is inbuilt in the kitchen. Yes, it's much more of a hassle. It's much more of a hassle to always bring it up and put it out there, bring it down there. But on the long run, it's just a few more seconds. It's just a few more seconds, 10 seconds, even half a minute of putting it up, bum, taking it up, bum. It's not gonna take much time. If you're going to complain about the hassle, the big hassle is gonna be trying to replace this machine. If the machine that you're trying to, let's say the microwave, you have always to take it out and put on the countertop and take a countertop, put it back down. It's like 10 seconds, half a second, or half a minute, 10 seconds. It's easy, and if the machine spoil, you can just throw away. From what I heard from my friends who purchased new apartments, it suck. It genuinely, honestly suck if their machine is inbuilt into a kitchen and you have to replace it. It's a headache. It's a genuine headache. It's a genuine headache. So, yeah, don't.
ice cube method, it did work a lot better, but it wasn't quite.
It's this small. Oh, fun fact. Okay, just one more thing. Dishwasher, no. Dishwasher, no. It's just a plain old no. Alright? I heard my friends, I heard my siblings, I heard my family members having the same regret. Okay? I use last one. Because case in point, what's the use of a dishwasher to wash dishes? Especially if there's a lot of dishes. But the thing is, newlywed couple, there's only 2 individuals. How many dishes do you think there will be by 2 individuals? If you are moving in with a big family, let's say much more than 2, much more than 3, understandable. Okay? But there's only 2 individuals. Heck, if even 2 individuals plus a baby, you still don't need a dishwasher. You really don't need a dishwasher. And with the lack of dishwasher, you can just wash your dishes. You might say that it's not a hassle, it's not a house chore. It's a house chore that requires discipline, that requires patience. Teach you discipline, teach you patience, and keep you busy in the kitchen. Also help reinforce the importance of doing house chores. That's also if you have kids, your children's, you can say that, well, it's your turn, it's my turn. We can share the burdens, we can share the job. You know, I do this side of the house chores, you do this side of the house chores. I do this side of the cleaning, you do this side of cleaning. I do this side of the dishes, you do this side of the dishes. Let's help each other reinforce the importance of family bonding. Instead of using one machine to replace it all. And how long is it going to take? How long is washing dishes going to take? 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If you're slow, 15 minutes. Yeah, it's not that much.
Perfect. It requires a little more finagling for me to get that perfect slice, and that right there is a lot of effort just to reheat one slice of pizza. And therein lies the second issue. One slice. Every other method, so far, we have only done one slice, but you could do more. In the microwave, you could fit 2 or 3 slices. In the oven, you could fit the entire pizza. In the air fryer, you could maybe fit half or the entire pizza. But on the skillet, that's 1 slice max with this method. And come on, if I want to eat more than 1 slice, I'm not going to be doing this for every individual slice. So as far as time and effort goes, this is going to have to be a 2 just because of how complicated and skill intensive the method is. But with all that said, take it away, VO me. All right, we've got one last method worth trying out. And I might be stuffed silly, but I've got to pay my respects to one of the best leftover pizza eating methods there is. Leftover pizza is a classic. And listen, I know that's not the point of the episode, which is why I didn't factor into the judging. But man, sometimes cold pizza, it's different. Come on, try it. You know you want to. For the truly lazy, eating a slice of cold pizza fresh out of the fridge never fails to disappoint. But okay, cold pizza is delicious, but it's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to get you to re-examine the way you reheat your pizza, and to give you all the tools you need to start appreciating your leftovers more. If you want it quick and easy without needing top-notch quality, the microwave with a glass of water is the best option for you. A lot of people pointed out that the air fryer had the overall highest score, and we didn't mention it. It's true, we didn't. Mainly because the score I gave felt a bit overblown when I revisited the footage to write. The others I highlighted were outstanding in the categories they excelled in, whereas the air fryer felt much more of a jack of all trades but master of none. So that's why it didn't get the special attention. And I wasn't going to change the scores just to change them. Come on, son. Want to splurge a bit and got some time on your hands? I cannot recommend the long oven method with a pizza stone enough. It legit tasted better than—
Okay, look, I've used microwave and air fryer on a regular in my life before. And I'm gonna say, cleaning an air fryer is significantly faster than cleaning a microwave, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Just gonna say that. Cleaning air fryer is significantly faster and more efficient than cleaning a microwave after every meal cycle.
than the night before. This one is especially good if you're trying to reheat multiple slices or—
I have not used an oven in my life. I've seen ovens in my life used, but you know, just not used.
An entire—
And I don't recommend for the average Singaporeans to have an oven. I recommend you guys to have a microwave, but not an oven. But no matter what, do not purchase apartments, or when you have new apartments, do not inbuild those machines into your kitchen, because replacement is a headache, maintenance is a headache, removal is a headache. Selling your entire apartment five years later, 10 years later, is going to be a big headache.
leftover pizza. And finally, wanna gourmet it up with a skillet? It'll take some practice, but it'll leave you with a delicious slice. So let me know in the comments below what reheating methods you use so we can run this episode back with your suggestions. I would love to hear from you. If you've stuck around until now, congrats, you made it to the end. This year was full of a lot of changes, but one thing that was consistent throughout was pizza. If you like this compilation, let us know. I'd love to show more behind the scenes fun facts the next time I do this, and there's so much for us to explore. But we need your feedback. Like, comment, do all of that jazz. And remember, that's just a theory. A food theory compilation. Yeah, buen provecho. It just feels wrong if I don't say it.
But hey, that's just a theory, a food theory. No. This video is, but hey, that's just a theory, a food theory. Compilation. Let's do the classic one, okay? But hey, that's just a theory, a food theory. Bottoms up. I'm kidding. The one that my pet said. But hey, that's just a theory, a food theory. Bon appetit. Bob, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much. This is gonna be the last long form video that I'm gonna watch from the game theorist, the film theorist, the food theorist, the style theorist, and GT Life. I'm still gonna watch this offline, but it's gonna be less of me reactions like you know, it's just gonna be me using my phone and watch and just normal phone, just watching this on my computer and don't have the kind of like this thingy. So even the camera is like, no, I'm not going to film this anymore. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video from the food theorists. Thank you. Do you get yeah? The camera is like, welcome back when I say thank you. Thank you. It was a fun video to watch, by the way. Comment down below. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, follow. You get the point. And also, fun fact, right now is 10:52 AM. So it was before 11 AM. Cool.